Evening, folks, and welcome. So, tonight, and this is not Caryville, I should point that out. Tonight, I'm going to be going to Caryville. So, yeah, let's just kind of go there. Actually, it's nowhere near midnight yet, just like the dramatic time. So, let's try and take a minute to explain why I'm going to Caryville first. So, Caryville is a location reputed to have dealings with what people generally say are hellhounds, but honestly, from what I've read, it looks more like the sort of phantoms called black dogs. Basically, going all the way back to when the area was first settled, there have been stories of phantom black dogs stalking people in the night, tearing them apart at the old ferry crossing down by Caryville. Now it's no longer a ferry crossing because, of course, the town on the islands in the river ceased to exist a few, still listed in the 1930s, I think it was. It's a ghost town now. Sadly, we're not going to be able to get to that because I don't have a boat. But we are going to go ahead and just park up in an area where a couple of teenagers were killed by some sort of strange, unidentified wild animal sometime in the 1960s, and where people continually report sightings of phantom dogs with glowing red eyes. So, let's hit the road. Need some wake-up juice, but after that, let's hit the road. So, wake-up juice successfully applied. Ready to get started for tonight. Before I do, though, let me explain to you the SOPP. SOPP stands for Spooky-Oriented Protective Posture. We're going to get SOPP 2 tonight. Means there's a low likelihood of spooks, and any spooks we do encounter are possibly hostile. So, peace of mind. I would have drawn a swastika on my left hand just as a little lucky ward-off charm, but I forgot. So instead, the other part of Shop 2 is just carrying a simple, non-intrusive handgun, just in case, you never know. It's a half moon tonight, so if there are any spooks out there, probably not going to show. Again, you never know. Now, like I said, the myth we're dealing with here is quite simple. No, actually, it's not. Yeah, so the myth we're dealing with here is basically back in the mid-19th century, when this area was first settled, a woman named Carrie Dean died on a steamboat. She was buried on an island in the river, named Mary Dean in her honor. Of course, it's the mid-19th century, not everyone can spell so good, so Mary Dean was spelt with an I, and it became Meridian. The area around her grave, as it turned out, is rich in timber, so Meridian came to become a very wealthy and successful town for a short while. All things in, so did Meridian. The timber trade died down around here, and before you know it, Meridian's a ghost town. The ferry landing stayed there, though. It came to be known as the Meridian Boat Landing, and in the 1960s, the first murders occurred when two teenagers were killed in the pickup truck. Something tore the door off, got inside, then ripped them apart. We found fur, no one's sure what from. Since then, sightings of hellhounds in the Caryville area, which is where we're at, have been a pretty regular thing. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna head down there, see what we see. Supposedly, in addition to the hellhounds, we should be able to hear the ominous wailing of a woman out in the river, and possibly also see an insane doctor. So, sounds like bullshit, but it does sound like fun bullshit, and I have nothing else going on tonight. So, let's hurry up and get down there. I brought a filming light, but it seems like Caryville was kind enough to provide its own, so... Well, welcome to Meridian, Wisconsin. Just over there across the river. So, I have lunch there, some sardines, some pears and syrup, a couple of beers. Grab my flashlight. So, I don't see any red glowing eyes yet. I do see some beautiful stars, though. Get a look at those things. Camera's probably not going to pick them up, but yeah, you can just about see that half moon through the trees. I tell you, this drive down was fucking beautiful. Yeah. Well, those classic Wisconsin back roads. You got yeah. Fog all the way down. It's quite pretty. Getting here, pass through some of my favorite parts of the state. Just these winding, curving back roads, just constantly going downhill, gliding through mist. Yeah. Going through these forests that I don't think have probably been touched for 150 years. occasional cornfield. Kind of place where you can really imagine you feel eyes looking at you from out the cornfield. Food! Yeah. Oh. Insects just went quiet. Pardon me. Insects just went quiet. Still hear waterfowl down that way and owl out that way, so insects are back. No, they're gone again. Yeah. Not overly impressed with the spookiness thus far. Did I remember to load this thing? Yeah, long-time channel viewers may remember I called this thing useless, but I've actually found a perfect niche for it, which is that it fits perfectly in a little cubby in the center console. Not to mention it's so tiny you can just like sit down in the car seat. It doesn't bother you at all. So like I said, we're at SOP 2 right now. Except not really, actually. So let me explain the SOP system. So, you know, MOP, right? You know, MOP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. MOP 1, just have gas mask on you just in case. MOP 2, gas hood, have gas mask on just because you're expecting like tear gas or something. MOP 3, it's like whatever. So, the spooky operational, fuck. Yeah, whatever. The SOP system is as follows. SOP 1, there are no credible reports of spookiness and you're just kind of out there, so it might be a good idea to have like a large knife or a handgun on you just in case. SOP 2, there are non-credible reports of spookiness which may be harmful, so you have a handgun on you at all times. At SOP 2, it's a good idea to, you know, like have an excuse prepared if you're going to be out like doing something stupid or trespassing, like, you know, I'm drunk, I don't know what I'm doing, I want to talk to a lawyer. Don't say that though, because that's not a valid legal excuse apparently. SOP 3 is confirmed or credible reports of spookiness which may or may not be harmful, for which you're going to want like some little charms just to give you peace of mind and keep you calm. Handgun, body armor might be a good idea. Might not. SOP 4, confirmed or credible reports of spookiness which is harmful probably, in which case body armor, rifle. SOP 5 is like vengeful spirits or you see a werewolf, in which case you're basically fucked. So realistically the SOP system only goes up to SOP 4. It goes past SOP 4, you know. Now actual Hellhounds would be like a SOP 5 thing because according to the mythology, a Hellhound is basically a supernatural Terminator. It's an unstoppable force which always knows where its target is and will proceed directly towards it, destroying anyone and anything in the way. A Hellhound is described as being able to go through like a inch thick of sheet steel with ease. Yeah, no way to stop a Hellhound. Apparently, they're supposedly immune to any kind of small arms which can be reasonably carried. No word on whether that includes like C4 or anti-tank rifles or whatever, but probably, because, you know, it's made up bullshit. Oh, hey. Never mind. Yeah, I don't think this is Hellhounds because first off, eh, I mean, eh, the most credible story about Hellhounds I've ever heard comes out of 16th century Germany. Physician and alchemist named Johann Faust, often believed to be one of the chiefest geniuses of the time, if not all time. Uh, he was rumored to have sold his soul to a devil in exchange, and yeah, I said a devil, not the devil, in exchange for all the human knowledge he wanted. Uh, in return, he supposedly forfeit his soul 10 years thereafter. That story was circulating even while he was alive, and sure enough, about 10 years after people started saying that Dr. Faustus had sold his soul, he gathered his students and apprentices together. He told them he wanted them to drink with him until midnight. At midnight, he said goodbye to them all and told them not to come into his study for any reason, no matter what they heard. Went upstairs, locked himself in his study. At exactly midnight, at 12:01, his students downstairs heard the sound of furniture breaking and someone screaming horribly. Then it stopped at 12:02. In the morning, there's no answer when they knock on the door, and, there's like a coppery smell. So they broke down the door, and they found that every piece of furniture in the room had been smashed. There were claw gouges in one of the walls, apparently too large to have come from even a bear. And there was so little of Dr. Faust left that had they not been gifted and skilled medical students, they, for example, wouldn't have known that that thing smeared across that one wall was the left hemisphere of the good doctor's brain. But what's described here is not, doesn't quite mesh up with hellhounds. It sounds more like phantoms. Black dogs, which is a superstition common across all of Northern Europe. Phantoms taking the form of large black dogs said to haunt especially battle sites or sites of past tragedies. In England and Wales, they're known for trying to warn people of tragedies, but yeah. In this case, they've been reported in this area even before Mary Dean over there died. I'm pointing because that's where she's buried. There's no... You're not missing anything. Yeah. So, suffice to say, this sounds like a pretty benign, normal thing, just... What's that? Yeah. Pretty benign, normal thing, just, like spectral dogs roaming the area, attacking anyone who gets near, blah, blah, blah. Nothing to be afraid of. I remembered to draw some warding on my hand before I got here. But I did forget that. Cold all of a sudden. Because the river's right there. That means we're going to see some real nice atmospheric fog soon. That'll be fun. Yeah. So, initially this was going to be about the abandoned Eau Claire Insane Asylum and Poor Farm back in Eau Claire City. Unfortunately, that was torn down, and there's like a park at the site. You had a perfectly good haunted insane asylum, And you tore it down, you fuckers! So this is basically plan B. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, anyway, you know, I can well imagine, you know, what some of the viewers are thinking, which is, hey, should I post about that thing that I'm a fan of, and which YouTube recommended this video to me because it's in the title, which may or may not have been part of the plan to garner more views? My answer to that is no. Stop. Don't post it in the fucking comments. Stop. Don't post it. Yeah. No. If we have any Has Been Hotel fans, it's actually a joke. Go ahead and spam the comments all you like, because the more fucking thirst comments you post, the more people this video gets recommended to. So, yeah. Well, this is a pretty lovely out of the way area. It'll be really nice in the day when I can actually, you know, see shit. Yeah. I almost wish I'd brought a boat so I could go head over to that little island there. Let's see what we can see from the shore. Now, the Chippewa is like, you know, it's a river, and it's actively flowing, so the islands out there, there are now 2 of them, pretty badly eroded. Ooh, that's pretty. Islands out there have been pretty badly eroded over time, so that used to be the town of Meridian. Supposedly there's ruins there, but like I said, no boat, so not going to be able to check that out. It's not as close as I'd hoped. Well, that was me burping, that was not a growl. So, yeah, pretty boring. There's like no... I can't ghost adventures the shit out of this because there's no like ruins or abandoned structures. There's just like this picnic house, but that, yeah, like take you through a practice room clearing, but there's also no walls on the picnic house. Probably can't see from the camera, but it's just metal girders above a concrete foundation. Yeah. I should come back during like quarter moon or full moon. And these are black dogs. Like, I'm thinking that if there is actually anything here, they would be. Not going to show up during a half moon. So supposedly these things scared off a whole motorcycle gang once. You know, supposedly they chased them all the way down that dirt road over there. Also supposedly, well, not all biker gangs around here are just like old men who like to get drunk and high on motorcycles, so I wouldn't take anything they say seriously. Especially because one of them said, "Oh yeah, you know, it was running right alongside the bike there at 45 miles an hour. I just went ahead and I casually kicked it, and you know, it just went away there." So, gonna call bullshit on that story. don't know, maybe I should like walk into the old picnic shed and scream or something. Or walk through the woods making door creaking noises with my mouth. It's like, pretend I'm like a History Channel show about ghosts. Because while this is very pleasant for me, you know, nice forest scented air, cool breeze coming off the river, this is probably boring as shit to watch. I think somebody left some hot dogs on top of the grill. Check that out. Now, hard-hitting paranormal investigation here. Did someone leave hot dogs on top of the grill for me to eat? No. No, sadly not. Yeah. It's okay though, because I brought donuts. Camera mount's kind of finicky. Yeah. I can only make this so dynamic. I mean, this is the only thing I can point the camera at and get light. I should like get the light out of the trunk. That make me a little bit more visible. It's making me blind. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should buy fresh cigars instead of using the ones I've left in my truck for God knows how long. Yeah. Yeah. God, you hear it? Right? It comes from there. God, motherfucker. Yo, restless spirits, let me light my fucking cigar. Inconsiderate, that's what that is. Motherfucker. Cigar lighter in the truck. Yeah, that's more like it. So, anyhow. So, welcome to my food review. I'll go showing up, so, yeah. moments later. Yeah. And it's gone right back to being warm. Yeah. Just my thought. I just gotta get some kind of break from the fucking horrible summer weather we've been having. Apparently not. Yeah. Still in frame? Yeah. Yeah. Like an old couch? Probably an old couch. Yeah. The bike trail goes right along there. At some point I'm gonna like yell something about ghosts. I'm gonna like freak somebody right the fuck out. Yeah. There's a lot of owls over there. Yeah. There's a lot of owls out there. Quote by a professional paranormal investigator. Frog. Yeah. Yeah, well. Boy, I wish this unincorporated town had a nightclub. Because then... Yeah. Bored. Yeah. So, I'm going to give you my verdict on the myths right now, even though I've only been here for like half an hour. Jesus, I think... Jesus H. Christ. There's no one left watching this. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give you my verdict on the Hellhounds of Meridian, which is that either it's bullshit, or it's black dogs and they're not going to show up because I picked like the one time of the month they wouldn't. So more likely, you're just talking about wolves. Oop, motherfucker. It's donut time. So I don't have the strength of will required to just put down a cigar and eat donuts. But what most likely happened in the 60s was that a teenage couple were out making hokey pokey, and some fucking wolves that hadn't been cold yet got into their truck. Wolves are more vicious than people would think. They're actually absolutely terrifying to deal with, if you ever have to. Yeah, that's probably all there is to it. Just like nothing in wolves. Yeah. I tell you, I am loving this new truck though. Like I said, I have always wanted one of these. Feels like a 1970s land yacht to drive. Especially because it has worn out shocks, you just kind of like float down the road. Just kind of lean back on the overstuffed leather recliner that Ford decided to put in there. Put your head all the way back because the headrest isn't modern, so you can just sink back to the chair. You can just like put one hand on the wheel, other on the armrest. You can just... Brilliant. Favorite driving experience. Yeah. I did initially intend to do some sort of like car review, but I actually intended to do like a high point review, or a high point carbine review, which is going to be more like the CZ review I did, which is just relentlessly irresponsible and possibly funny, for which that thing was going to be like painted like a giant watermelon. because it needs to be repainted anyway, because it has like hail damage and rust holes. But yeah, it didn't pan out. Well, no. I guess that wasn't an old couch because it's gone now. Yeah, Hellhounds of Caryville. Old bus. Yeah. Stars are pretty though. Not far out enough from the city to see all the constellations, but I can see like Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, an airplane. It's all the constellations, right? It's all the important ones. Airplane. Possibly one of the most important constellations of all. Not in the shot. Yeah. It's better if I go. That's it, yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Couple more beers in the truck. Probably gonna have those once I finish eating these donuts. Yeah, the drive down was special. It almost makes me wish I'd kept my original idea of just holding a podcast type thing where I just drive down these back roads while talking. Yeah, this would have been perfect. So you had like these heavy sheets of oh damn, it's cold again. Yeah, you had these like heavy sheets of mist just like floating over the road, and I'm just like gliding through them. Oh, and on the way down here, it's like this forgotten cul-de-sac of country roads. So you have country roads the way they were like 40 or 50 years ago, like these paved single lane roads. They're just the old dirt roads with like some asphalt sprayed on top. Oh, man. Absolutely beautiful. Breathtaking. Especially in the middle of the night. There's actually a bridge out a bit up the road, so there's no traffic either. So, yeah. I don't know, maybe I should like, Jesus, but that was a hell of a voice crack, yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe I should like go into the tree line there, pop off a couple of shots and then like scream, "Ah, help, it's getting me," or something, just so this isn't a horrible disappointment to anyone who's watched this half-hour YouTube video. These donuts aren't great either, so I'm suffering almost as much as you are. Yeah, well, nowhere to go for another 12 hours, so I hope you guys enjoyed the ambiance. Because I am just going to stand here and become moderately drunk. Slowly. It's the best plan I can come up with, because this is disappointing. I was promised supernatural terror, and I've gotten completely natural boredom. Some say I think that's Scorpio, but some astrology nerd or astronomy nerd, either or, is probably gonna like pour through the video and be like, okay, if Ursa Major is right there, that can't be Scorpio. It scared me. It's real quiet all of a sudden. Yeah. It's actually completely silent, other than me. Ducks are shut up. There's no owls over there. It's about midnight, so I don't know. Guess all the nocturnal animals have just gotten tired and gone to sleep. Huh. Yeah. You know, all of a sudden it is actually kind of spooky here. I always like the sound of nightlife. It's downright disturbing when it goes away. Couch is back. It's not worth a noise complaint. It's probably like a very brave deer or something. Couch is gone again. That means I'm scarier than I think I am. So, that's nice. I'm still in the... yeah, I am. Did I drift over the... yeah, I drifted over the wrong side of the shot again. Keep doing that. So, stand there. Yeah, beautiful cloudless night. I tell you what I should have done. I should have brought binoculars, because I bet those stars would look real great if I wasn't like viewing them through my fucked up, borderline blind eyes. Stirred the duck. Everything's okay. Yeah. No, ducks are going quiet again. Yeah. And it's getting cold again. Bipolar weather. Yeah. I've drifted off the X I drew. Where's the axe? Huh. I assume I must have like dragged my feet around and kind of spread the X out and got rid of it, but yeah. Here's another donut. Couch is back. Starting to think that's probably not a couch. Hmm. 5 minutes to midnight. fucking making noises over there? Probably like a very large cricket or a bullfrog or something. It could be a huge damn cricket. Boy, that's the scariest thought I've had since I come out here. Just like, damn. I feel like a cricket the size of a football. Or just a frog. No. Could be either. A frog the size of a football would also be intimidating, but not genuinely terrifying. Donuts are fucking trash. Oh, holy God. Okay. Well, I thought I saw something, but I didn't. So. I really should stop just storing these in the truck, because this scar wrapper has like condensation on the inside of it. Yeah. Aside from that raccoon I think I just saw a second ago, no glowing eyes. Alright, wind stopped. And there was a cloud of insects around my head and around that light. It's 2 moths now, so not gonna get any mosquito bites. It's weird because the river's right there, but yeah. The other insects and the birds and whatnot still haven't, there's a cricket, never mind. I figured it out. So, this road is actually a straight shot up to like the main drag of the town. So whenever someone turns left off of that road to go to their house, you just see their taillights. It looks like 2 red eyes. So I've just solved a mystery and proven to myself that I'm wasting my time. Yeah. Predators don't make barking, huffing noises on their way up to you. They approach silently, so that's not something hunting me. That's just someone's stray dog. When the barking, huffing noises stop, that you have to be worried. That was like a duck. Can't tell if that's like a light on the island I'm seeing or if I'm just being blinded by my own light. Yeah. This is probably... Shut up! This is probably the most boring supernatural terror I've ever faced, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. Okay, well this one is actually too dry. It's coming right apart. It's bone dry. I guess the inside of the whole plastic thing was just foggy because, like, changes in temperature, which would have had to have occurred pretty recently in order for the cigar not to have become wet from the condensation, so I don't know. Well, the couch is still not there again, so fucking waterfowl is still making noises out there. Yeah. Well, it's 3 minutes past midnight, and I have yet to be torn apart by any spiritual dogs or demons or hellhounds or whatever. So, I gotta say I'm quite disappointed, but you are going to continue suffering with me because I have to stay here for another few hours. Maybe you don't, because in Caryville, just back up the road, there's a couple of more spots that are infamous for being haunted. There's an old schoolhouse, which is supposedly haunted. There's a old graveyard, which is supposedly haunted. There's an older, lost graveyard from about a century ago behind the new graveyard, which is also supposedly haunted. Oh, this thing is dry. Yeah, the thing is, I'm actually too lazy to try and sneak past security cameras tonight, right now. So, we're just going to stay here. And continue waiting for hellhounds. I keep looking over here. That tree line is like 10 feet away, so if anything's going to like come get me or whatever, it'd totally come from there. So I don't know why I'm looking. Yeah. Yeah. If I brought a shotgun, I would just fucking kill that duck, or whatever it is, because that's beginning to get on my nerves. Three past midnight. Oh. I was going to turn on the radio, but then I remembered that this is going to be uploaded to YouTube, so I can't turn on the radio because copyright or whatever. YouTube should let you buy like a broadcasting license. Use the shit out of copyrighted music. Or just leave the radio on, if I could. I don't know, maybe that's why I haven't seen any Hellhounds. Maybe they're attracted to copyrighted music. Perhaps that's why those teenagers were killed in the 60s and why those bikers were subject to hallucinations from where they were smoking. Because they were playing the radio really loud. I don't know. If that's the case, I can sing all the Judas Priest you want. Just do something interesting. No, apparently there's just nothing out there, so. If that's not your speed, I can sing any of the Bee Gees' greatest hits. Nope. No wonder Ghost Adventures films everything in like black and white and just move shit on their own. This just does not make for good content. How long have I been filming? Oh, an hour. Alright, well, I'm going to tell you folks good night, because nothing's going to happen. So, as soon as I got rid of the light, weird noises started happening, and just now the bugs have stopped again, but whatever. So I'm hoping the camera will pick up on some of it. Ignore the duck, because that just kind of happens, and that's just a duck. Or a goose, or whatever. There are like voices coming from that island. I don't know if that's just poachers, or people out drinking on a Friday morning, or what. But, yeah. Goose. Yeah. Well, people forget that wildlife isn't always graceful. Geese and whatnot tend to just kind of splash gracelessly into the water, so. I am going to mark that one down as a solid maybe. So, I'll fill you in there because I turned off the camera on the way out. So it got real foggy all of a sudden. After, you know, the dogs started barking, and then there was something in the bushes, and it was quite large. So, I'm going to say that is a maybe. Yeah. I don't know how well the camera's picking up how foggy it suddenly got out here, but yeah, no. Just the inside of a fucking cloud right now. Yeah, so Hellhounds of Caryville? Maybe. So, the limit of my bravery occurs when, you know, I hear dogs barking and then something large starts moving towards me from the river out of the brush. So, this doesn't quite confirm that there's, you know, anything there, but it does confirm that the, what's it called, boat landing is kind of a spooky place around 12 minutes after midnight, especially after, you know, you sort of taunt anything that's out there. So while I remain staunchly skeptical, I would like to go back there with, like, multiple people. Because, I don't know, I feel like I might have been onto something there towards the end. So, that's about it. You know, there's not much else going on in the middle of nowhere at night. So I think I'm gonna leave you there. I suppose it's not exactly true. You know, I can always go out here and look for Mothman. You know, just gonna wave this around and see if any large bipedal Mothmen show up. Yeah. I don't know. It's not likely. Let's see if I fall off a bridge into a river. Huh. I don't think anyone... Huh. Because that is closed down. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I come to think that this might also be a bus, because Mothman only shows up before bridges go out. If you didn't know the lore. I also think he's native to Pennsylvania. Ah. Damn, the sky is fucking beautiful out here. I can actually see more stars here than I could in Caryville. Boy, that's a fine how do you do. So I invite you to remember, doing stupid things costs money. For every $5 you give to my PayPal or Patreon in the description, I can drive 1 mile in this giant fucking tank that I've, for some reason, decided it was a good idea to buy. So, despite not seeing Mothman or anything interesting, I hope you'll consider sticking around for the next video. Lord knows where that'll be. I think the Hell Hotel. If I can get permission to go there. Maybe I'll find Al Capone's treasure. Who knows? That's supposedly buried there.